Imagine for a second you've just installed the absolute best state-of-the-art steel doors on the front of your corporate headquarters. You've got armed guards, perimeter cameras, the whole shebang. But then, out in the back alley, an employee accidentally drops a master key. What happens next? Well, in the digital world, that isn't just some hypothetical nightmare. It's actually a highly lucrative business model.
Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a serious cyber threat intelligence briefing on a very active and formidable group known as Shiny Hunters. Think of this as dissecting a true crime digital heist that's unfolding right now across the globe. Understanding their methodology is absolutely paramount, whether you're in a SOC, on a threat intel team, or sitting in executive leadership.
Here's our roadmap for the briefing. We're going to meet the Shiny Hunters, look at the exact tactics they use to break in, open up their extortion playbook, and finally, go over exactly how to lock down your data against them.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1. Meet the Shiny Hunters.
So this financially motivated cybercrime group popped up around mid-2020. And their motivations? Simple, relentless, and all about financial gain and notoriety. They definitely aren't trying to fly under the radar. But here's the real game changer. How they operate compared to what you might be used to. Traditional ransomware crews, they get in, encrypt your files, and lock the doors from the inside. Shiny Hunters? Completely different playbook. They don't even bother locking the doors. They just steal the blueprints. Their entire model revolves around data exfiltration, extortion, and public disclosure. Basically, taking your most sensitive data and threatening to blast it out to the whole world if you don't pay up.
And the scope here is literally global. We're talking major corporations hit across North America, Europe, and the Asia Pacific. E-commerce platforms, tech firms, telecoms, financial services, and even the cloud providers themselves. Bottom line, if your company holds a massive amount of sensitive data, you are absolutely in their crosshairs.
Moving on to Section 2, let's look at the actual tactics of their break-ins.
So, how are they getting in? Like we mentioned, they completely bypass that heavily guarded front door. Instead, they go straight for the vulnerable, often overlooked digital supply chain. It's basically a three-step process. First, they scrape code repositories like GitHub and GitLab. They're hunting for exposed API keys or private tokens that a developer might have accidentally committed to a public repo. Step 2 is credential stuffing. Think of this as taking that stolen master key and trying it on literally every single door in the building until one clicks open. They hit single sign-on and developer accounts hard. And step 3? Once they have those compromised credentials, they walk right into your AWS S3 buckets, cloud databases, and backup instances.
For the SOC analyst tuning in, let's map this threat actor lifecycle to the MITRE ATT&CK framework. You've got T1078, valid accounts, where they're using those stolen cloud service API keys. Then there's T1552, unsecured credentials. That's pulling credentials straight out of public source code. They also rely heavily on cloud service discovery, T1526, to map out your storage buckets, which leads right into T1530, extracting the structured data directly from cloud storage. It's an incredibly methodical, calculated process.
Okay, Section 3, the extortion playbook.
So the breach is successful. The data is in their hands. Now what? Well, they weaponize it. They use automated tools to pull massive databases via REST APIs or command line utilities. This maps to exfiltration over web service T1048 and cloud storage T1567. We're talking about them ripping millions of records out of environments like Azure Blob Storage and AWS, moving it all to attacker-controlled infrastructure in the blink of an eye.
The fallout from these operations is just devastating. They're grabbing customer PII, names, emails, phone numbers, hashed passwords, along with highly proprietary enterprise source code. And that's when the extortion actually begins. They are super active on dark web marketplaces like breach forums, where they'll either sell your data to the highest bidder or they'll slowly leak it to the public to crank up the pressure on the organization to pay the ransom.
Finally, Section 4, locking down your data.
So how do we stop them? It's time to shift from just understanding the threat to actively stopping it. If you're an IT executive or security leader, listen up, because these upgrades are no longer optional. It all comes down to CSPM, or Cloud Security Posture Management. This is your continuous use of tools and practices to find and fix misconfigurations across your cloud setup. It's the absolute cornerstone of defending against groups like Shiny Hunters. Why? Because you literally cannot protect what you can't see, and CSPM gives you that critical visibility.
Let's break down the core pillars of this defense. Number 1, you need automated secret scanning on all your public and private repositories to catch leaked API keys before they cause a disaster. 2,
Enforce strict IAM and least privilege access. No more hard-coded keys, use temporary access. 3, and this is a big one, mandatory phishing-resistant multi-factor authentication. We're talking FIDO2 and WebAuthn across everything, corporate infrastructure, cloud providers, and third-party SaaS portals. 4, harden your storage. Every single AWS S3 and Azure Blob bucket must be strictly private by default. And 5, set up real-time exfiltration alerting so you know the second there's an anomalous spike in data leaving your network.
The intelligence report hits the nail on the head with this strategic summary. It says, defense relies heavily on cloud security posture management and immediate secret revocation. The reality is, Shiny Hunters isn't relying on some uncatchable, highly sophisticated zero-day exploit. They are feasting on simple developer oversight and exposed credentials. Your defense completely depends on your organizational hygiene and how fast you can revoke a compromised secret.
Which brings us to a final, pretty chilling thought. Take a look at your own organization right now. Consider your SaaS platforms, your developer environments, your cloud buckets. Are the keys to your cloud repositories truly secure today, or are they just hiding in plain sight, waiting for the shiny hunters to find them? It might be time to kick off those internal security reviews. Thanks for joining us for this critical explainer, and stay secure out there.